What's up and good evening. Welcome back to another edition of the Watchpoint Post Show, live from the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles. You already know who I am. I'm your boy, Malik Forte, joined at the desk by Zoe Brand and the man who finally is freed from Visa Hell, Sideshow. What's up, man?
What a beautiful feeling.
We missed you, man. How you feeling?
Thank you. I'd love to say I missed all of you as well. I miss most of you.
Wow.
Brent, I could live without. Brent, I could live without.
I feel like you guys got a lot to hash out because there's been a lot of talk about you while you were gone.
I carry this boy's position on the desk for an entire stage.
Carry's a strong word, isn't it?
I carry it. I carry it.
I don't believe it for a moment.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, look, before we get into you guys going back and forth, we've got a super stacked show today. And speaking of super, he's here too. He'll be joining us later on. Super, the main tank from the San Francisco Shock, will be on here later. But guys, we need to get into the matches. Starting off with the Seoul Dynasty, who came into our first match of the day, trying to make the most of their first ever playoff appearance, and calling it a monumental upset would be a monumental understatement. The Seoul Dynasty, they came out full steam ahead.
They did, and you know what? I love that we all had like some sort of conspiracy theories going into this. It was like, oh, they're not fielding Fisher. We came up with like all sorts of weird ideas why that is, but you know what? I don't think it was anything. I think they just practiced with this team on Control and then headed on to the other maps, and it all worked out for them.
One of the weirdest games that I have ever seen. Very unpredictable. Two almost completely different rosters.
Well, it's ruined half of our bracket.
It really has,
hasn't it?
Well, ruined is
more
the
than
wrong word. It's ruined our anticipation of what the bracket would be.
Right.
But who knows? If Seoul's able to take down New York, and they have this kind of slow style where also Fisher's playing like a maniac, because honestly, Fisher bodied Mano in the neutral, as Super would say.
In the neutral.
In the neutral, Mano got absolutely worked.
Worked him, didn't he?
Absolutely
But
worked.
have we ever seen a bigger upset than this in the Overwatch League?
No,
I
mean...
In some of the regular season games, maybe, but not in a playoff situation.
Maybe the Fusion last year?
Maybe, but kind of people thought the Fusion were like a big team.
Yeah,
formidable, right?
Yeah, and Seoul have been looking kind of weak, And they haven't really been doing that much over the course of the stage so far, and now they just show up.
And on top of that, they go into the game with not their typical starting lineup. They go in with Zumba, they have Toby out there, they have Fitz. It's a completely different lineup.
I'll tell you what, though, New York are the most clutch team I've ever witnessed, even when everything is going badly for them, even when Mano, for some reason, is getting dominated in the game. As soon as Nene and Jonak decide that they want to win fights, and Meko as well in this one was unreal, eats the grab and then destroys them. A 4-man bomb.
Shouldn't have won this fight.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't have won this map. This should have been the 3-0, in my opinion, to the Seoul Dynasty, but New York decided that was not going to happen.
You know, I really enjoyed seeing Jonak switch off to that Mei. And you said something back in the control room about wanting to see Jonak play some DPS. I'd be into that.
Unbelievable.
He plays Ascend as if it's a DPS. I don't think it's going to be a big difference. It just looks different because the spells will look different. Overall, though, like I honestly was incredibly impressed with how Seoul Dynasty won this. They outplayed on every role.
Yeah.
Honestly, on every role. Even though there were moments of brilliance in New York's team, as always, you know, with those clutch moments we saw from Fisher, from Meko. It was just overall, if you look at the statistics at the end of it, it was just Fleta was a better Zarya. It was Fisher being a better Reinhardt. Never thought I would be saying this.
Yeah, no, incredibly strange day. Incredibly strange match to start it off. That was madness, wasn't it?
Yeah, Michelle imposed his will. So he was in their heads the entire game, and it ended up costing the NYXL because they were trying to stop Michelle. But I got to say, we heard Jonak say during a post-game interview that he would never lose to Ryo Jae-hong.
Yeah,
and he did.
Here he is. You know, that's the moment where some stuff just doesn't age well, like that very moment from Jonak.
Like our brackets.
I love how much how much history we have between those two players, and I love to see Ryo Jae-hong back on his, like, you know, final form. He has been doing so much better. He died like a third as much as Jonak, and that's an insane amount of time. We have to, however, do look at the time played. Right? It's 10 more minutes for Jonak on Zenyatta than we saw from Ryo Jae-hong. So the stats might be skewed a little bit.
That 10 minutes must have been outrageous feeding from Jonak.
Outrageous feeding.
They were totally level up until that 10 minutes, and Jonak just, I don't know,
just went off.
I will say, though, listen, we got to give credit to Seoul. Like, this is the Seoul Dynasty that we were expecting last year.
Yeah. They're
finally turning up now. They look very solid. This team on paper as well, stacked talent from head to toe. I'm very pleased that we now have a new contender for the top spots in the Overwatch League now as well. Yeah, join the big dogs.
Yeah, I think Titans will give them a run for their money. But what I want to break down is I heard groans all across the desk there when we saw that grab at the end. We were groaning in the back room as well. But I want to take a closer look at that play that actually lost the NYXL that game, because there's a real crucial element. Now, you'll see that this is only 2 seconds left, and a 6-ult fight is available here for the NYXL. So a big chance of them being able to win. But with Michelle at 95% and so far away from the rest of his team, if they manage to get the pick onto Michelle, they've won this fight. So Nene, as he's moving over, he just sees a flash, a hint out of the corner of his eye. His peripheral vision, Nene's got the eyes of a hunter and sees Michelle over there. And so just decides to absolutely yeet his grab. But Michelle has no idea that he's dodged this. The assumption from Nene is that if he can find the pick on Michelle and he thinks he's gone through the doorway, they have definitely won that fight. So I don't think that that's a throw. I think it's very high risk for sure, and it didn't end up working out for them, but Nene had a decent idea in that fight at least, but the execution wasn't quite there, and honestly, kind of crazy to go for it.
It's risky.
He saw a flash in like 300 milliseconds.
But imagine it if it would have worked out.
Yeah, we would have been calling him a god, and they would have reversed.
It would have been
didn't. They're out.
I mean, with your stage playoff life on the line, is that really the play you want to make, though? Is it really? Like
Clutch Masters?
I mean, it goes to show you how dominant Michelle was that entire match. He really had a great match. But guys, we've got a lot more Watchpoint post-show coming your way, including the top-seeded Titans taking on the underdog Uprising. And man, I gotta say, Sideshow, so good to have you back on the desk, man. Everything been good since you've been back so far?
Yeah, nothing's gone wrong. Yeah, no, I've had a great first day. There's been no problems. Don't know why you'd ask.
What's up, man? How can I help you?
Hi, man. My name's Josh Wilkinson. I don't have my badge on me at the moment. This is my first day. I work on the Watchpoint show. I was here all last year, but...
Can I see ID?
Sorry, I don't have any ID on me at the moment.
No ID? Okay.
I was here all last year. I could pull up a Twitch for it if you'd like. I was on the broadcast.
So you've been here before?
Yeah, I've been here before. I've been here. Sideshow, it might be under. Big forehead.
You don't look familiar, man, and you're not on the list. So,
No?
oh, what's up, Brendan?
How's it going?
Hey, man, pretty good, man, thanks.
I work with him. I'm his partner, Brent.
Sorry, man. If you want, I can give him.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered.
Welcome back to the Watchpoint post-show. Now, after that huge upset in our first match of the day, the Vancouver Titans want to show why they came into stage one a cut above the rest. And you better believe they did exactly that at Helios. They came out, and what was a bit of a clown circus of a match. And they were able to show that they're still the most dominant team in the league.
Helios was bizarre. That honestly, it was just bizarre to watch them go up against each other. I didn't see too much strategic depth in per se. Like this one in specific. In this round, I feel like they forgot about the point about twice, or maybe 3 times even. Bumper died first things out of the gate. However, Vancouver still got the point to like, I think 15 or 16% at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just confused there.
This was very telling. I think that Boston had prepped well for this match. They came in with a lot of unique compositions, a lot of unique strategies to try and deal with what Vancouver Titans were running at them. But it comes back to the main issue that I pointed at, that I thought that Boston were going to be struggling with, and that's dealing with this high-tempo gameplay that Vancouver Titans, love to just play into their opponents. And when you're playing that high tempo, it will throw off your shot calling, it will throw off your ult tracking, it will throw off your ability to really set up a lot of these fights, which Boston rely on all the bloody time. So I can't say I'm surprised by this result. In the end, this is exactly how I thought the game was going to go.
Yeah, I also thought that the NYXL Seoul game would be a little bit like this. Well, that turned out to not be the case. So although this is how I expected this game to go, it's and it does bode very well for the Titans. Who knows? The playoffs is such a different beast, and I don't think you can be too harsh on Boston here. No. Although they didn't really perform in this match, it wasn't close, it was a complete stomping. The Titans are just such an unbelievably good team that we basically thought coming into these playoffs that it was Titans and NYXL and everybody else.
But that's why I'm not quite understanding why Boston Uprising thought that they can just play the same game as Titans here. I do think they should have gone a little bit more creative, come with, you know, just something out of the ordinary, because they tried to fight fire with fire, but they really were just like using a lighter to go up against a wildfire. Like it was just not working.
Yeah, I think the problem for that is that Boston aren't really a flexible team as well. I don't think they really have that much strategic depth in terms of being able to play a bunch of different compositions. Certainly Fusions is very comfortable on his role in the Reinhardt triple-triple, so they're kind of limited in that sense.
Any more small victories they can take away from this match?
Yeah, they've got more time to focus on stage 2.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He should be a coach.
Yeah, right? Get him in there. Get him in there. Bryn, that was a highly anticipated Reinhardt face-off that we saw, but what did you see from that Bumper pretty much outclassing Fusions the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting matchup between these two main tanks because it's two teams that are kind of led by their main tank players, except they have drastically different styles in the way that they play. In that Bumper is overly aggressive and Fusion's maybe a little bit more on the defensive side, at least compared to Bumper. And you can see how that kind of plays out for them. But it is the one interesting stat that I do find here is the fact that Bumper is almost matching Fusion's on deaths, and it was still a roll, which is just telling of the entire series, isn't it? Like, he just plays like a maniac once again, every single time, and he gets away with it because his team, you know, their man's back in at the end of the day.
Right. Well, I got a question for you guys, because coming into this, I'm trying to keep it together.
I know. Man's backing. You're a fool.
Right?
You're a British fool.
Man's backing.
So coming into today, a lot of people
I'll have your back, Joe.
in their bracket, it was New York and Vancouver.
Sorry, Malik.
At the end. No, you're good. You're good. It's New York versus Vancouver. A lot of people picked them too, right? So with New York out, who is going to be the team to beat Vancouver? Is there anyone left, or is the bracket pretty much free to Vancouver?
I think most people would expect that the bracket's a little bit free to Vancouver, but I think I'm not just saying this because Super's going to be on the show a little bit later, but I do think the San Francisco Shock are the next team that you should be looking at to try and take that. When they actually played against the Titans, it was 4-0, but it was a very competitive 4-0. And I know you guys will have heard that all the time because they also got 4-0'd by the NYXL. But Shock are actually a really good team. I think unanimously across the board, people are saying they're the third best team behind what people were assuming would be Titans and then NYXL. So I think they're the team to do it if anyone can.
All right. Well, fair enough. Guys, we'll be right back, but don't go anywhere, because right after the break, we'll be joined by Super from the Shock. And of course, we've got our most over-the-top moments of the day. Stick around. This is Watchpoint.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. Welcome back to Watchpoint. We're joined now by a very super special guest. One of the youngest players in the league is the San Francisco Shock main tank. Super, dog. How's it going, man? Tell me, how you feeling coming into the playoffs?
You know what, Malik? I'm feeling great. After today, I'm feeling great.
I wonder why you're feeling great, dude. I just want to know right about how you feeling about that upset earlier of the NYXL.
Yeah, honestly, I was pretty surprised watching it because we had played Seoul in the tiebreaker for the 6th and 7th seed, and we honestly didn't play that well. So I thought Seoul was going to get rolled over, but I don't know, they changed something.
Yeah. A lot of people say, like, playoffs is a different beast. It's like where the time when a lot of upsets happen and stuff like that. Do you think that's actually valid? Like, do you think, with your extensive experience of playing in 0 playoffs last season, but watching a lot of teams in playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of, lackluster in that area, but, I mean, LW Blue, like the team NYXL, obviously they have a lot of experience of choking in playoffs, especially back in like Apex in Korea.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they just need to work on like
mental
their mentality.
fortitude.
Yeah, when they get on stage. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and I find it very interesting what you just said because you guys beat them 3-0 yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they were just too busy preparing for NY. Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe.
Could be.
Could be.
I doubt it,
Could be.
but
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Now, Malik mentioned you are one of, if not the youngest player in the league. Who knows? You know,
one of them. Who knows?
You're definitely young. Let's put it that
Yeah.
way. Is there any player on your team or any other team where you look to as a mentor or a role model?
Yeah. Well, last season specifically, we had Dak on our team, and he was like, he was the oldest player in the league, and I think just he had a lot of experience in competitive aspects, not just in games, but with he was a poker player as well. So I think he knows how to like keep his pressure, and I definitely talked to him, and he was a pretty good friend of mine. So.
Do you keep in touch?
Not as much as I should, but sometimes.
Shout out to Dak.
Yeah, I love
Very
you, Dak.
reflective.
I got you, Dak.
All right, super. I want to hear some heat now, all right? This is why we brought you on. We knew you got a big mouth. We want
All
to
right,
see you
let's
use it, all right? Most overrated team in the league right now.
Ooh.
Go ham. Go. This is it. The world's your oyster.
I'm gonna say Fusion.
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 Ooh.
Why? Why is that?
I mean, I don't think they're bad. I just think they're really inconsistent. So.
All right. Okay.
All right.
That's actually very vanilla. I'm quite disappointed.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I feel like that's a popular consensus for many people. All right, so Super, we like to do this thing called Rapid Fire Questions, a little game we play with our guests here at the desk, but this time we're thinking of putting a little spin on it since we got you here. So you quickly need to answer if whatever we say is super good or super bad.
Oh boy.
You ready for that?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right, first question, pineapple on pizza.
Super neutral.
What?
That was
It's like neutral.
Back it up. Super good or super bad?
But, okay,
No
but I don't mind it one way or the other, so it's like a
I'm
neutral.
actually with you though. Like I'm about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, people are like so
people
one
go
way.
too crazy
Yeah,
about this
I agree.
pineapple on pizza thing. I'm
I mean,
also with you.
he is a main tank player, so neutral. Yeah, I get it. All right.
All right. Goats.
Bad. Super bad.
All right, Eamon.
Super good.
Yeah.
Have you
Giga
seen him?
Chad.
Have you seen him?
I've seen him, bro.
I'm inspired a little
7
bit.
foot. I hear
Yeah.
he's got a 40-inch vertical leap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude's crazy.
What about Bumper then?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
He's all right. He's all right.
Super,
Super all right.
He's super all right.
super. All right. Doesn't want to give it to him. All right. Philadelphia sports teams.
Just not inspired. Super bad.
Super bad. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Changing it,
Cool.
bro.
Is it because of the fusion you're saying that, or
No, just overall.
overall? Okay, fair enough.
Okay, Smurf, aka direct competition within the team.
No, he's super good. I like Smurf.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
What, how do you rate yourself if Smurf is super good?
Just jumping in, are you? All right.
Like super good. Like super good.
Super good.
All right, NYXL.
After today, I thought they were. Well, before I thought they were super good. Maybe they got some things they got to work on, but super like mediocre. I don't know.
Super mediocre.
Yeah, fantastic answer so far. All right, Defiant, the team you're playing against next.
I actually think they're pretty good. I actually want to say I think they're super good.
Okay, all right.
Okay, respect
A lot of respect.
respecting the opponent. I'm with it. I'm with it. All right, guys. Well, thank you, Super, but don't go anywhere because you're going to help us break down our top 5 moments of the day.
Nice.
It's time for Over the Top. And guys, we're going to get this thing kicking off with
Stuck in the northeast of England, are you? What do you mean?
I've been
How long have you been believe here this.
Oh,
for?
I've been double dipping.
All these-
the
all
pay's
these
been
weeks.
too good. You don't know about the Twitch
Can't believe
Prime,
this
man.
sucks.
It's sucker
That's
this
the
is
unreal.
We've been
Twitch
literally an
Prime,
ad
yeah.
subs, and they should have been Stuck using in them the on northeast of Twitch.tv/Bren.
Sideshow completely swindled us, man.
the
You're back to the
opportunity to
hotel.
chill immediately. Yeah, well, I mean, what can I say? The oats is a dangerous thing to get addicted to.
How about Jonak switching on to that maid to
Oh.
save Volskaya? That's pretty dope, right?
You know what's funny? He did this last year against our team on Anubis. It was like stage 3. He came on a May and he just got 3 headshots in a row and just killed 3 people. We're like, what just happened to us?
Yeah, you got farmed.
Yeah.
That's what
No,
just
we
happened.
actually got hustled in the neutral. It was kind of crazy.
Was that a bad throwback for you?
Yeah,
Like, did that,
we
did that
actually
trigger some
talked because we were
feelings?
watching it and we were like, wait, that just happened to us last year.
Yeah, deja vu there. All right, Bumper doing this thing on the Boston Uprising, flexing all over the place. lots of emotes from him this game.
Yeah, what do you actually think about Boston Bumper then, Super? Because you said he was like, but people criticize him for being like too all in, but the guy is super good, right?
Yeah, I think his playstyle works just because he has like a really great supporting cast. Like he has Genu and Slime, and I think they're probably like right now the best in their positions, just because the peel they make for Bumper is like almost second to none.
Yeah. Okay.
I like it. Good response. What do you think about emoting in game?
You can do it if you're popping off.
Yeah.
Only if you're popping off.
Tactical crouching. I like that.
Have you ever done it?
Personally.
Pop off, I mean?
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, we can't forget about this clutch grab that Meko ate.
This was sick, though. I'm calling out Monte Cristo for this one. I know he loves it when people do that. At him on Twitter with any of your grievances. He loves it. But we were in the back, you know, we were discussing this game, and he was like, nah, it's lost now for New York. It's lost now for New York. It should have been lost for New York, and then Meko just pulls this out. He's the grab.
This is when I tweeted out they always find a way. I don't know how they, well, except for on Rialto, but.
Yeah. New York seems to always find a way to win, but today they fell up a little bit short when it came to the end.
Yeah, and like this Lotus that says Dynasty bust the brackets, there's going to be some just die-hard Dynasty fan out there, though, that put the Seoul over the top, and they're going to think they're so smart, and you're not.
Wait, you have a long Dynasty easy game, and I'm like, I don't think.
They were right, but they shouldn't have been.
Because I already have, so I knew it.
That annoys me in my heart.
I mean, if you call the Dynasty, yeah, you're definitely a genius. And guys, here's our champions leaderboard. And as you can see, the Atlanta Reign are still at the top of the board. We got the Philadelphia Fusion in the top 10, as well as the Paris Eternal sitting at number 10. And moving on over to our individual leaderboards, Numbra TV still at the top. He was actually ousted from that number 1 spot last week, but he's back at number 1. I guess he was like, nah, I'm not gonna let that happen.
Josh, what's our number 10 spot?
I've been watching from home, and honestly, this is the thing that keeps me gripped to the Watchpoint post show is just seeing who can top the Twitch cheers.
Right?
Oh, God.
Super. I want you to give me 3 reasons right now why you're gonna beat, not you, but the whole team is gonna beat the Toronto Defiant. 3 reasons.
Okay.
Bim, bam, boom.
Because I work the neutral. Sinatra's pretty good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm pretty good. That's all I got.
That's all you got. You can only
Yeah.
think of 2 reasons.
I wasn't briefed for this, so I had to, all I think of is me. That's just kind of how it works.
All right, cool. Fair enough, man. Well, yo, Super, thank you so much for joining us, man. We appreciate it. And we appreciate all the love you guys gave us on those tributes. But anyways, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break. Of course,
This place is a rabbit warren, man. I couldn't find my way to the stage. It took me 3 hours to get in this morning.
Man,
I couldn't get any hair and makeup. That's why I look like this.
this man couldn't make it to point B, man. You're just stuck there.
I know. I got full held.
Got full held, bro,
Classic
by your
New York
own
move.
sense of direction. Crazy. All right, well, guys, the analysts here at Watchpoint decided to fill out a group bracket for the Stage 1 playoffs. So let's take a look at how it looks after day one.
Whoa.
So you guys got the Vancouver Titans right. But NYXL, they're out. So
Subtle call
That doesn't
out.
look like my bracket.
yeah, you guys,
Hashtag not my
you
bracket.
guys' bracket is
name
busted,
it.
man.
It is busted.
I feel you hate to see it, you know. You hate to see it because my bracket's right. Remember, I said whoever picked the Dynasty is a true genius. Well, I'm gonna show you guys my bracket. I actually picked the Dynasty to win. Check it out. Let's get a close, close look.
Oh,
See
wait,
it?
so-
Is it this camera?
First,
Here we go.
no
Here we
one
go.
can
Check
read
it out.
that. No one can read that. Also,
I picked the Dynasty right here.
when-
You see that?
when did you pick him?
Look, just look closely. I
It
picked
looks like
No.
you wrote Dynasty. Like,
Yes.
I'm a little dyslexic sometimes. I don't even know how to read a teleprompter, okay?
It looks like you wrote down NY and then just wrote Dynasty around it. That's not how you spell Dynasty. That says Dynasty.
Look, I
It's
wasn't.
slang.
I never was good at spelling, okay? I'm a little dyslexic. It's cool, but I was right, okay? Genius. Thank you very much. I got the big brain on this
careful,
desk.
Wizard Young. You gotta look out.
Typical genius.
Typical genius. All right, guys. Well, the first day of the Stage 1 playoffs started with the bang, so let's take a look at the matches we have in store tomorrow. We have the Atlanta Reign going up against the Philadelphia Fusion and the San Francisco Shock going up against the Toronto Defiant. I'm not going to say it just because Super was just here at the desk, but I'm definitely looking forward to the Shock and the Defiant. I think the Defiant, a lot of people are sleeping on how good they really are.
Yeah.
Shock, another team everyone considers to be top tier. This is going to be some high-level Overwatch between these two.
I think it definitely is. I'm really excited to see whether the Philadelphia Fusion are for real as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Super said the most overrated team at the moment. I'm not even sure that many people rate them. They've had such an easy strength to schedule, and then they've only gone 5-2. You know, they dropped to the Mayhem as well, and now coming back into it, they look like they're starting to play good Overwatch. So we'll see. Is this team for real? Maybe they can make a run.
What about you, Zoe? What you looking forward to?
Ooh. It's honestly really tough. I think tomorrow's matches are super hard to call because, again, Toronto has been not exciting to watch by any stretch, but they got the job done. And San Francisco is the one everyone else picked as number 3. Like everyone said, they have to be up there. So this is their chance to actually prove it, and I can't wait for that match. But on the other side, I'm always excited to see Atlanta. I kind of hope for an upset there. I hope they defeat the Philly. Then they probably go out in the next round. But I don't care, you know.
I mean,
just saying.
you've been on the Atlanta tram the entire...
Yeah, like I've been writing that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll
Don't hop off
continue
that.
that.
Don't
No,
hop
I'm
off
not. I'm not
there's
hopping
2
off yet.
matches tomorrow, and so I guess I'm looking
You're
forward to
good
the
at
exact
counting.
same points that Zoe, and thank you, Zoe. I do try. I'm gonna go for the exact same points that you guys said, honestly.
Yeah, Brent's just excited to go home earlier.
In my mind,
right?
in my mind, all right, I'm going to talk about Philly if they're for real, and I'm going to talk, and if somebody takes that point, I'm going to talk if Toronto are actually the number 3 team, and you both took the same points. So
You realize that 1 point doesn't fill up an entire cortex of your brain. You should be able to hold
it takes me a while.
Speak for
It takes me a
yourself,
while
Josh.
to do that. Like, I don't really plan that far ahead, like
Okay.
at all. Like, I don't know what I'm eating tonight. Am I going to eat tonight? I don't know.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna go back and actually rewatch what
Where am I gonna
that match
sleep?
between the NYXL and Seoul Dynasty because it was crazy, guys.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
anyways, that's going to do it for us today. Make sure you stick around for the live Q&A with our very own Sideshow. We're making him do all the work. Only with the Overwatch League All Access Pass. Man, you just arrived and we're putting you through the ringer, man.
I've got to catch up on all the work I missed, I suppose.
True talk.
Sure.
True
Very
talk,
true.
guys.
Please
all right.
do.
Well, we'll see you again tomorrow for the live pre-show at 5:30 p.m. Pacific. But until then, good night.